Our next team up is the Alexandria Valley Cubs, and we'll let these guys introduce themselves, starting right here.
Davenport, offensive line.
Travis McGee, athlete.
Braxton Tucker, D-line.
Guys, y'all are coming off a pretty big, convincing win over Leeds last week. There was a lot of hype around that game. Leeds was ranked number 3. Y'all were ranked number 4. Two of the highest scoring offenses in 5A. Two of the stingiest defenses in 5A. And it's one of those games that something was going to give somewhere. Talk to us about that game, about the fast start you guys had, and just talk to us about the game from beginning to end.
We just came out ready. We were practicing hard all week. We know they were a good team, and we just proved we was better.
I just feel like we had to play more than the number one spot. We wanted to make a statement. Right. So we came out hard, and the way we prepared all week, we just came out strong, finished strong.
Yeah, we came out over there and got some turnovers that went our way, and then offense played really well. It seemed like they really had an answer for anything to do on offense. We just all around good game.
Yeah. Speaking of those turnovers, I think they had 2 turnovers early in the first quarter, and y'all definitely capitalized on that and got 2 scores early in the game. And that to me, kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. And from that point on, it seemed like the offense was just clicking on all cylinders. Defense was clicking on all cylinders. What Coach Ginn, what was his message to you guys before that game?
He was just talking about how we hadn't been beaten and they hadn't been beaten, and I guess to go out there and prove that we're the better team.
It was telling us we had no reason to be nervous. He was the one that needed to be nervous. We're the ones playing, so he said just come out strong, and we don't need no motivation because we're playing from the number one spot, and so we needed it. Yeah,
because y'all seem real chill and relaxed during pregame. They were doing a lot of hooting and hollering and everything, and y'all was just like, no, it's business time. I could tell, and I knew then. I said, this game is. I knew which way the game was going to go.
Told us to hit them early and often, and that's seems like how we get the overhand every game. We come out hitting and hit them off, and they're usually not ready.
Yeah. How many tackles did you have Friday night?
I think 4.
4. And I know after the game, I was trying to talk to some of you guys and get some pictures and whatnot, and he told the media to hold off. He wanted to talk to y'all for a few minutes after the game was over. What was his message after the game? Let's start with Tucker.
I think he really talked to us after the game. He was just telling us about, we went on our prayer circle and all that, but once we went in the locker room, we got a little pumped up. He just came out, did what we had to do, and he was pumped about it. Yeah.
He was just telling us to come prepared for next week, for this week right now. Yeah. He said the same thing from last week. He said we don't need no motivation. We lost coming to this game last week, so he said we need to play for more. Just come out here and win.
Yeah, he came in there. He gets real excited from big wins like that. He starts jumping around, screaming, and then
I could tell. I started to come in there, and I was like, "No, I'll just wait till he gets done."
And then afterwards, when we all got calmed down, he just said, "Get ready for Piedmont. That we have business to finish over there since they beat us last year."
Yeah. That last year, that was my first Alexandria game, and it didn't end very well. But I mean, this is a different group, and they have a different team, so Friday night should be pretty interesting. Have y'all had a chance to watch any film on them?
Oh, yeah.
What have you seen from them on the offense side?
Well, had that same quarterback a couple of years. He can kill you with his legs, and they got a couple of receivers that are real good. And they got weapons all around. It's hard to pinpoint on what to stop them.
That they do. What about on the defensive side as well?
No, I really just pay attention to the offense. I ain't got a chance to watch defense yet, but offense side, I saw some athletes. I saw receivers, quarterback. They play hard. So.
Austin Estes, that receiver, man, he's fast. That's what you definitely gotta watch out for. What about you, sir?
Their D-line, they're just quick. They just bull rush a lot. And their quarterback, he's real patient and will sit in the pocket and wait for a gap to open if he wants to run it.
Cool. Okay.
Now, who is it y'all got frightened out? I forgot.
Piedmont.
Oh, yeah, okay. Now, most, this is a non-region game, but y'all got a chance to do something at Alexandria that hadn't been done, I think, since 2006, and that's finished the regular season undefeated. Talk about, now, your focus level this week. Most schools, not all coaches, but some coaches would take an opportunity to, hey, I need to rest my good players for the playoffs next week. But that ain't happening here. So talk about how intense y'all's practices and what y'all's focus level for this week.
We're focused in. We're going to be one of the only teams in Alabama to stay undefeated. We're playing for something this week. No, we want to be strong. We don't only want to beat them.
Because they came on y'all's field last year and beat y'all, so y'all have a chance to do the.
Mm-hmm.
Put y'all need to look good on the big jumbo screen up there.
Yeah.
So this is y'all's opportunity to do it.
Yes, sir.
So just plus two, how many of junior, senior, how much what's
All seniors.
all seniors? And this is it. This is the last time you play these guys.
Yeah.
And then you got the playoffs. So y'all had a great year, and so just talk a little bit. Each one of you just reflect on what it's meant to play for the Alexandria Valley Cubs.
First.
Yeah.
I've went here since I was little. It's like our age level is kind of been. I think we've only lost once growing up. Like ever since we was little, all the way up to last year, and then we had 2 pretty good seasons, and want to keep it rolling.
I think it's crazy seeing how much we've grown over the years, playing with each other from, Little League coming up now. Most of us been playing since our freshman year, sophomore year starting. So, we've grown over the years and improved. So,
I just moved here this year, but coming out in the summer and stuff, showing the commitment that all the other players had and everything, you could tell that they were coming ready for this season and they didn't want to lose.
I got something to ask you guys, a little bit different take on this game. Playing a very seasoned, very quality opponent right before the playoffs is a huge bonus. Talk about that and how your playoff focus starts now. You guys they're 1 year away from winning the state, or 1 year removed from winning the state themselves. And if anybody can get you guys ready to play in the playoffs, an atmosphere on the road like you're going to face, plus a seasoned team that's 1 year removed from the state championship and was a semifinalist last year. Talk about that and how that's going to help springboard you guys into the playoffs.
Last year we kind of rolled through our region. We were not ready for playoffs, and then that Piedmont game kind of woke us up a little bit. We wouldn't have made it as far if we hadn't lost to Piedmont. And I think playing, they're just as tough as they are last year. I think probably going to be the best thing we played this regular season, and they think it will get us ready for playoffs again.
I say the same thing. He said, we blew through every team. We came in thinking we were going to do the same to Piedmont. They showed up and showed out against us. So,
Yeah, Piedmont's a strong team. They're going to be ready to win just as much as we are.
You were in the region with them for 3 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you're very familiar with them as well.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Well, man, good luck to you guys, and save some Valley dollars for the rest of us. We're gonna have. Y'all ain't gonna be there. It's the Piedmont.
It is at Piedmont.
That's right. Well, we know Valley dollars this week. Huh?
Yeah, I can't.
Gotta wait till the playoffs for you to get one of those.
Yeah. I'll be at that first playoff game for sure.
Hey, good luck to you guys. Thank you. All right, our next team in is Cedar Bluff, the region champion Cedar Bluff Tigers. And I'm going to let these gentlemen introduce themselves at this time, starting with Coach.
Coach Alan Beckett.
Dylan Kennard, Jacob Bronson, Preston Burt.
Hayden Stallings.
Coach, I'm going to start with you. First of all, congratulations. Your first year at Cedar Bluff. Had a lot of naysayers coming into this year, and we talked to you guys at the media days at Easy Street and Center, and I know you talked about the importance of having a good season your first year, but to come out and win the region championship like you have, that's got to be something that you hang your hat on. That's pretty impressive. But talk about this season overall.
Well, proud of these guys. And we try to be physical. Our thing is we want to be the hammer, not the nail, and try to have a physical team. And you're probably looking at your 4 most physical guys. These guys like to hit, and you definitely want to be hit before you got it. you get hit. And it'll be eaten. And so, all four of them have definitely, Hagan, we're happy to have him here tonight, has bloomed into both sides of the ball, both as a guard and as a linebacker. He's turned into a hitter now and in open field. And I think we all knew that Preston, he lives to hit and be physical. And man, Jacob runs that alley and does a really good job of coming down and finding football. And he's a run stopper. And you don't always want your quarterback to be that guy, but he's too valuable for us to get off field a whole lot right now. He does a really good job. And then Dylan, sometimes we have to, just have to turn it off. Sometimes we're walkthroughs. I mean, he's wanting to anywhere. We helping old ladies across. He's wanting to hit anybody. It's a good type thing. We just sometimes during our walkthroughs and stuff, we have to put it back. But that's a good problem. It is, and all these guys are very physical though, and we've been proud of that because that's that was a guy coming in to be a very physical team.
Now, Coach, you knew we're going to take it back to last week. You guys had a very impressive win at Coosa Christian, a team that's on the rise. And you talked about them in the preseason. You thought there was going to be much improved. Now it's a pretty hostile environment, and they really wanted that game. It's the first game I think they played at home in 5 weeks, so they really wanted that game. Take us back to last Friday. I mean, it was nip and tuck for a long time, and I think obviously your quarterback had some huge runs in that game, but everybody played pretty well.
Yeah, and that and our goal is to take a close game in the fourth quarter and hope our conditioning and hope our our culture gives us a chance and that we can physically wear people down. And we felt like that was the case. We felt like that and they're up and coming. They got things going in the right direction and really proud of what they got going on. But I thought Friday night that kind of played into our what we draw up, our diagram for our ideal game. And halftime was a ball game. We've had several. It was a ball game. Our guys don't much panic, and I've been proud of that because I have been places that they panic. The other team scores first, and they don't. They don't cow down to adversity. And man, we've seen some pretty good teams. We'll see another really good team again this Thursday night. So we're kind of used to that kind of environment.
No doubt.
And I felt our schedule helped us prepare for that.
I said something on the high school pick'ems show last week. They asked me about you guys, and I said, "Hey man, Cedar Bluff's winning on the name because those kids got pride. They're not used to losing football games. They're used to winning region games, and I think that's kind of showing in these kids. I mean, these kids got a lot of pride and a lot of fight in them.
They care about Cedar Bluff.
That's right.
The fans are great. A lot of pride. They're there to win. And you say, well, isn't everybody to win? You get in certain places, they're there. They get selfish motives. They're trying to see the field, and people get in all kind of tangents. It's not that Cedar Bluff. We're really, it's been special to step into that. Built years and years ago. There's kind of one pulse there.
No doubt. We'll start with Kennard right here. This season's had to be special for you guys. First, you're head coach with Coach Beckett in his first year to go out and win that region championship. You've had some ups and downs, but you played pretty steady all along. Talk about this year just overall.
Yes, sir. It's amazing to win the region. We haven't done that in a little while, and everybody's overlooked us this year, so it feels good to win the region, come out.
And Average Joe Sports Talk Player of the Week. Go ahead.
Coach Beckett kind of sparked the community and it just brought tons of fans into the stadium and it feeds us and it's just been a great season winning the region.
No doubt.
Good.
Sorry. Me and his last year, it feels great to win our region. I ain't ever won it since I've been playing. Or I did one time, but I didn't play. But I was ineligible because I just moved back to Cedar Bluff.
I got you.
It feels good.
No doubt.
He's come in and he's done a great job, and I'll remember it forever.
No doubt.
Yeah, what Coach Beckett's done coming in as his first year and able to win a region, it's been amazing. And this year has been really good for us. Winning the region, it feels good because I've only played for 2 years and we hadn't won it since I've been playing.
Now, let's talk about Coach Beckett in general. The vision that he laid out for you guys when he first got here, some of his first messages, and then how to see some of that come true and not only make a playoff berth, to be the number 1 seed and win the region. What's that been like?
It's been good to see it all come through from in the beginning of the summer and just meeting this guy and not knowing what his goals were and how he liked to do things, and then now seeing it all pay off has been good to see.
No doubt. Same question. Coach Beckett in general, what's that guy been like for you?
He's been good. I mean, I didn't know. Like, I've never really liked new people, but just always
He don't like people in general.
But I think I've grown pretty close to him, and I know I'm a little crazy sometimes, but maybe just wore off on him a little bit. He's done a really good job, and I appreciate all the things he's done for us. And he got us a bunch of new stuff. I mean, paints the field,
That's right.
new flags, a bunch of stuff. He's changed a lot, and I like the way he's going with it.
Oh, yeah. He ain't done yet because we had conversations with him last week when we were out there.
Yeah.
I like that pullover, too, by the way. Go ahead.
From day one, it was hard work. I knew right away I was going to be putting in hard work during the summer. The first workout, we went to core with him. It was all sweat, and we were saying to each other, God, he puts us to work, but it's paid off in the end, and I like him for doing that.
Like he said, our first day we done core, it was all dead. It was way different than the Coach Mac workout. He just pushed us like we needed to be pushed.
That's right. Now, Coach, fast forward to this week, you got a short week, and it's a pretty huge game coming up, county-wise, and we just had those guys in, and we talked about if you rewound the clock, decade ago and decade before that, this game was huge every year. Right?
Oh, it means a lot to a lot of
Talk
people.
about that game. What
That's
that
an
means.
important game, and you playoffs are important, and that needs to be your go. But right now it's kind of it's one of our iron bowls.
That's right.
It's a really important game, and they've done a really good job. Coach, he's come in and they've hit the weight room, and they've in a year's time they're a much better team, and they've got several backs, and Cornejo's definitely a special guy, and so it's more than one. Got a receiver that's really fast, and a quarterback that's accurate. And I think they got a couple guys that are pretty physical. They're in a physical league. They're in a really good region, and it's done nothing but made them better. So obviously it's special to us. These guys know. Yesterday and today we were kind of going over the roster and that kind of thing. Well, they know all these guys. They played all the different balls, and they can tell you in depth about them playing through the years. So saying that, it means a lot to people who they can go back years and years and years and tell you about the game and whatever year, and so that's important to them. And done a lot of classics. So you turn the page to this year, and you got to find a way to get fired up. They will be, and the key is always knowing what they do, trying to in some way slow down what they do. I think Coach Little's done a really good job defensively each week doing that, and and winning the prolific plays, the big plays, and turnovers, and doing a good job tackling. We need tackle space. They got two guys that can break it at any moment. So we're excited about the opportunity and the challenge.
Question for the guys. Talking about the Santa Rock game this week. Like we said, that's a big game, big rivalry game. Trying to think, I lost my train of thought. Talk to us about the importance of that game and what it means to you as a player. Playing those guys every year and it being as big of a game as it is.
Oh, it's really important. It's the game right before playoffs. You always want to get a win going into the playoffs. But, man, it's a rival. I love playing them. They always get us better.
Yeah, like Coach was saying, I grew up playing with nearly all the players. Know every single one of them, and some of my family go to Santa Rock, so it's always a big game that I want to win, just for pride.
Yeah, Thanksgiving come around, you can talk to us about.
Yeah, all those guys, I know pretty much all of them. I remember Cornejo from last year. I mean, he's young, but he's good. He went
Pretty strong.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm trying to.
You're trying to find words because you don't like humans.
I just want to set a statement. I'm gonna make. If all of them don't know me, I want to make sure all of them know me.
Okay.
Like you said, we need to win going into the playoffs to get some momentum going. But we know all these guys, so it's a little personal, kind of, I guess.
That's
We
right.
know all of them.
Man, this is something unprecedented. The entire county made the playoffs. For you
We
guys.
were talking about that
That's amazing.
before we came and got y'all.
That's very good.
Coach Beckett, I've always known you the years to be a hard-nosed, old-school, tough football coach. And I was looking at your schedule of the day. Your non-region schedule was Spring Garden, Tryon, Georgia, North Sand Mountain, and Sand Rock. Now, not that the region wasn't hard enough, but talk about how playing those types of games have prepared y'all for the region and for the playoffs.
Yeah, we like to think that we could have played some much weaker teams, and we got a lot of wins there, and it could have fared well. But there again, what you got to look at, that'll prep you on down the road. If that's your goal, that's our goal is to get playoff bound and play teams like that as you travel, potentially into the playoffs and as you go. So, but we felt like not only that, we played Plainview, who was ranked 3rd or 4th at the time, and 3 in the Jamboree, and then you turn around and Spring Garden was like 2nd.
And I also see we're in higher classifications too.
Yeah, they're top 5, and then Tryon's been ranked. I think they've lost once now, but unbelievable. They would transfer over here. They beat Cherokee County like 35-7.
Why didn't you just play short junior college?
Yeah, I mean, and then Sand Rock's been ranked most of the year. So, no ducking or dodging. If you want to be the best on down the road, you got to find a way to start to play with the best and beat the best, and that's where we're at. So we're again, we're excited about the challenge. And it's been special to Cedar Bluff, and there's so many things special to Cedar Bluff, and these guys may not realize it had, because I've seen other places that weren't Cedar Bluff. Cedar Bluff's really got it going on in a lot of ways, but you got a couple rivalries right there really close as Gainesville. Sand Rock's goes way back. Sand Rock's got tremendous football history, and Spring Art's turning a rivalry because they've emerged as a power, obviously going to semifinals last year. So, I like that.
Yeah, no doubt. Last question. Having an atmosphere like that's got to gear you up the week before the playoffs. I mean, you got to have a playoff mentality going into this game.
Yeah,
especially on a short week.
It'll be like a playoff, and people will be lined up on the fence. And our student section's been great. Our fans have been supportive. I felt like our fans have, and there again, that's not something you get always. Our kids have fed off of fans. Instead of sometimes your fans feed off the kids. Our fans get excited, and our kids have responded, and that has been great. And that's what you want. You don't want to play in them empty stands.
That's right.
You don't want to be. You want to play in environments like this. What you dream about?
That's right. Exactly right. You guys have anything else? Coach, I appreciate you guys. Good luck. I know it's a short week and late on a Monday night, so I appreciate you guys making the trip down. Thank you so much. All right, our next team in on our Monday night preview show is the Collinsville Panthers, and I'm going to let them gentlemen introduce themselves at this time.
Jordan Coker, junior, offensive line, defensive line.
D Ward, junior, quarterback.
Guys, last week you guys played a very tough drilling team and had a pretty tough outing. Take us back to last week. I know it didn't go as planned, what you guys were looking for, but just take us back to last Friday night in general.
I actually thought we improved some from last week to this week with our physicality. We stayed with them and hit them for most of the first quarter, and we improved in some things that we wanted to. We still have a long way to go, but we're a young team, so we're hopeful.
I think offense played a lot better than we have most of the season, and yeah, especially physicality. I think we hung in there really well.
Yeah, they're one of the more physical teams. I mean, I play a pretty physical region up there. I mean, you got several teams that's really physical there. Take us back to this season in general, man. How has this season transpired for you guys individually? Losing your coach right before the season started to getting Ernie back, a legendary coach that you guys were very familiar with. How's this season unfolded for you guys? We'll start with Keaton.
Well, we started the season, preseason we were really hopeful, and, we were really looking forward to this season. And a lot of things didn't go right, but we did learn a lot of things along the way, and I think that'll really help going forward, especially being a young team like we are.
Obviously it's a disappointing season for Collinsville standards and our standards that we hold ourselves, but we're just looking to keep improving every week, and send our seniors out with a win would be really important.
What's it been like to have Ernie back on the sidelines?
He's always encouraging, especially some of these tough losses. He's always in our ear. It's all right. We'll get it together, but there's always a fire too.
Yeah, I see a little bit of that this year in the Pleasant Valley game.
Yeah, I love him on the sidelines. He always has the words of encouragement when it's needed, and when you're playing really hard, he sees it, and he'll come up and say something to you about it.
No doubt. He's legendary there. Him and Teddy both are two legends there. This week you're playing Valley Head, who is a team that's been pretty solid the last couple of years, and this year's no different than any other. And they've kind of went to that ugly eagle offense somewhat, similar to what like 5 runs or whatever. But what have you guys seen from them on film?
It's about the same offense we've played 4 or 5 times this year, so we should be pretty good at adapting to it. They got some athletes, and they're pretty good size up front. Just gotta play our game.
We got to play really physical. We got to be able to hit them in the mouth and just keep doing it repeatedly. And we got to play really disciplined. That's something we've had trouble with this season, but I think we can do it.
That game's going to be interesting because they're a pretty young team as well. They lost 13, 14 seniors off last year's team. So y'all probably in the same boat as far as youth was.
Yeah, with you guys being juniors, y'all have another year to come back for whatever reason. I thought y'all were seniors, but y'all have another year to come.
Can't get rid of these guys that easy.
I know. Trying to graduate them early. I know Kelly don't want that. But you guys are juniors, so you have another year to kind of right the ship and whatnot. And going into next year being leaders, have y'all, kind of stepped up and telling younger guys, hey, as soon as the season's over, we've got to get back in the weight room and start preparing for next year?
Oh yes, sir. I mean, we've already really started in the weight room, already trying to work towards our new goals and new weightlifting, anything like that. Just getting the young guys playing time this year was a big thing. Some of these freshmen that's just last year were barely starting on JV, starting on varsity this year. So, I mean, it's a big difference, but I'm trying to make it count.
And yeah, all the young guys, even this past summer, they worked extremely hard in the weight room every single day. They came, they showed up, they worked hard, got 1% better every single day, and that's really all you can ask from them. And I love playing with them.
You guys are 3 sports stars, both of you too, right? So you guys are roll right into basketball after this.
The guys, now this is it for the regular season for you guys. So I think that'll be on last year, 6-0 or something like that.
Yes, sir.
So you're juniors now, so you got a chance, to be the team that never lost a Valley Head in your career. But to do that, you got to beat them again Friday night, obviously Thursday night. So talk about, like I said, this is the last week of practice you'll have for another 9-10 months. So talk about how much you've enjoyed playing the season and how have the coaches handle practice this week. Are they harder on you this week than what they've normally been since it's the last week of the year? Or how are they approaching that?
To go back, this is actually our longest playing rivalry, us and Valley Head. I think we've played 80-something, 90-something times. But so we know a bunch of the people around there, and we know a bunch of the players there, so it's always entertaining to play them, and it'd be big to go undefeated against them. And coach has kind of been more relaxed. We hit a lot today, just letting the seniors hit one more time. And I think we're going shorts the next 2 days to kind of let our bodies rest because we have a game Thursday. But I think just getting the jitters out, this is going to be the last game. Let's have fun this week.
Because today would normally be like, since the game's Thursday, today would be like Tuesday.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So I forgot about it. A lot of these teams have a game on Thursday night. Sometimes I forget when they're scheduled. So.
Yeah, this season it's taught us a lot, and it's taught us a lot about ourselves and everybody else on the team too. And yeah, like Jordan said, the coach has been really relaxed this week, and just kind of letting us have a little bit of fun.
Anything else? Guys, I appreciate y'all making the trip. Make sure you get something to eat, and good luck to you guys on Thursday.
All right, we have got the Douglas Eagles in the house for 2nd week in a row.
That's right.
I feel honored, man.
That's right. All the way from Marshall County, Alabama.
Yes. These guys are having an unbelievable season. 6-3. Going to the playoffs for the first time in 23
23 years.
23 years. Yep. Well, we're going to let these guys introduce themselves, and then we'll get to talking about last week's game and their game this week, starting with Mr. Fontaine.
Jonathan Fontaine, junior, Douglas High School.
Cooper Butler, sophomore.
Seymour Wright, sophomore.
Austin Kirk, junior, Douglas High School.
All right, guys. Coming off another big win last week against Crossville. Y'all beat them 48-0. Just give us a rundown of that game and kind of what transpired from the beginning.
Starting off the game, we was in the locker room doing our little pregame stuff, and coach started talking to us. He was like, "Look, guys," he said, "win or lose this game," he said, "y'all are in the playoffs." He's like, "But," he said, "it's always if West Point loses to Gunnersville." He's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty confident in Gunnersville beating them." He's like, "But at the end of the day," he said, "you never want to leave your legacy in someone else's hands." He's like, "So let's go out here." He said, "We've dealt with, when we were supposed to win the games, we've dealt with our business, we did our stuff." He said, "So go out here tonight, do your thing." He said, "And I promise you, at the end of the game, we're going to be successful and happy."
Yeah, because a game like this would be, that's the type of game that you could have a letdown. It's like, okay, we're in the playoffs, so it don't really matter. But you guys went out there and took care of business. Mr. Cooper, Dizzy?
Yeah. It's pretty much the same. I mean, there wasn't really that much said. It's just one of those go out, execute, and just do what you do best and just go out there and win. I mean, I think we showed that good.
Offensively, we had good coordination and communication on the line at least, so that was pretty good on us.
Offensively, we went down and scored like we needed to, and then on defense, we made the stops we had made. Got them behind the chains. Can't play behind the chains, so that's defensively that's good when you get them behind the chains.
Yeah. You guys got another big game coming up in the regular season before the playoffs. We're not going to talk about the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
It's
More we got time.
This is not a bad team. I think they're going to the playoffs.
They just won their regional championship last Friday. They beat Tanner.
Wow. So they're not
That's a lot of
slow.
points, too.
Yeah.
Like the Big 12.
Yeah.
No defense, just offense.
So have y'all had a chance to watch them on Pisgah?
Yes, sir.
What have y'all seen from them?
Offensively, they do things very well. They have a good quarterback. They got a number 9 plays. He a little bit everywhere, running back, receiver. They got a number 5 who's real quick, and they got some big dudes on the line. But I feel like defensively, if we can slow them down, doing what they do best on offense, and our offense just goes down and executes like we always do each game, we'll have a good night.
Right now, coach is just preaching get to the quarterback pressure because right now all the routes they run is like very slow progressing. Like it takes a while. They like deep pass game, so we're just trying to like get to the quarterback, get in his face, get pressure. We do that, we stop him.
Defensively, apparently, it's supposed to throw a good amount of stuff on us, so we just do what we did last Friday, and we'll be good.
Like Cooper said, we just need to get to the quarterback. You get in his face. I mean, he's cracking the pressure. That's pretty much what we have to do.
Man, I seen you guys play in Jacksonville this year. I know it's a fun experience for all the teams down there, but how much do you guys feel that you've improved since your spring game that we seen you guys in Jacksonville?
Well, when we went down to Jacksonville to play Southeastern, Southeastern's not a bad team. They're a very tough team. They've competed in the past, and our coach knew that going into it. But he said the biggest thing with that was he was glad we lost that game for a reason because that gave us something to not, go into the season with a win on our belt. We went in with a loss, wanted to get back in the winning column, and that's pushed us since then. But since that game, we've came together more as a team. We've connected better mutually and everything. Our line. Tremendous execution. Week by week, they get better and better. And then our skill position, line opens up holes, we hit them. We do well on offense, all because of him.
I can't really say from that point. I moved in week 4. So, but I can still tell just from week 4 to week 10?
Week 10.
Week 10. Okay, yeah. But just from week 4 to week 10, I can tell just from being around people and practicing with them, still getting to be able to do that, just competitive edge and just people like they're overall just getting better, especially like line in the trenches. I think we're becoming a really good team in the trenches.
Towards the beginning, another problem was communication. We went from Stepping on each other's feet a good bit. Running into each other while pulling guards. Yeah, we've improved on a lot of things offensively.
You know, going into that game, we were still young. We have a lot of young kids that was on the team. You know, it's a starting point for everybody to build and know what you need to do better, what you need to improve on.
Y'all look like a totally different team from that game to now.
Yeah.
One other thing, man. This person, and we'll start right back on here.
Right.
23 years.
23 years, yeah.
Y'all weren't even born. You know what I'm saying?
I think I was a junior in high school 23 years ago. Yeah, I was a junior.
I mean, that's something we've been working towards since, you know, we've been in junior high, is making the change and, you know, building that foundation. And we've built it now. You got these younger guys coming in and, you know, they're helping us out a whole lot, you know, on the line.
Y'all look different than a typical what you'd say Douglas team has looked over the last few years. Just 23 years, man. I mean, what does it mean to break that streak?
It means a lot to all of us. We've all worked hard ever since I've been playing football since 6th grade up to this moment. You know, we've improved a lot. Last year wasn't great. We started high, then we just lost every other game since the end of that year. But we've improved a lot this year, and it just means a lot.
No doubt. I know you've only been there since week 4, but to be around these guys and see this transpire, how's that, man?
It's been great, but I mean, I'll go ahead and give out a shout out. I think one of the main things right now is the coaching. Like, Douglas is for real about the coaching. Like, we finally got in some good coaches. That's one of the things that got me back to Douglas is the coaches. I've always had a relationship with them. It's just they were just such good coaches. I just wanted to keep on being with them.
That's right.
Like, they're really good.
I played the sport for 11 years now. I moved into Douglas back my 4th grade year. You know, I was still a young one. And I heard great things about Douglas community. And as I was playing Pee Wee football, seeing how competitive our age group was. And all these parents always told us, like, through middle school and stuff, they was like, y'all are going to be the group to change it. Y'all are going to be the group to change it. We'd go out on Friday nights. We'd watch our varsity team get beat by 50, 60, you know, blowouts, get killed, embarrassed. They didn't care. They didn't compete. They didn't try. We came in. Our freshman year was a rough year. We had just got a new coach. We was all still young, not strong, not been in the weight room, not had a program to build with. And, you know, it was a tough year, but through the summer, we got Coach Lyles of my sophomore year, and he worked with us. He got us better. You know, we improved from freshman year to sophomore year. We won 3 games to start off. Then we hit some tough reaching schedule and some tough losses by touchdowns or less. Kind of hurt us. Going into junior year, I just knew something about this year before it even started. We was going to have a special season. And Coach made us that promise. You know, he was like, guys, I promise you, if y'all keep working like y'all have, the end of this year, y'all will not be disappointed. Well, we're in week 10 right now. We're 6-3. Got a chance to finish 7-3, reverse our records in back-to-back years from 3-7 to 7-3. Go to the playoffs for the first time in 23 years. Last time we went, our head coach was still playing high school football. It's awesome. It's crazy.
That has a lot to do with the weight room.
Oh,
Getting
yeah.
in there over the summer, actually having a summer program, getting in there, working out, and having the coaches, like, you know, just stay on us about working out. That's a big deal.
It ain't just about working out now. You got to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Because now everybody's working out.
I can testify to that. I mean, just coming in week 4, and I'm on their summer workouts. I mean, right now, it started as kicking my butt, but I think I've gotten a lot better in the weight room. Like, Douglas' program is good.
Y'all got a different look.
Yeah.
People used to laugh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, they even laughed this year. Five teams in our schedule, or 4 teams other than our homecoming, put us as our homecoming. We won 3 out of those 4 homecoming games. The only one that beat us was Boaz.
Good.
We went 4-1 in homecoming games this year. Embarrassed teams. Like, we didn't just win the games. Like, we beat Sardis on theirs 27-8. We beat Glencoe on theirs 41-7. He's seen that game.
Yeah.
We beat Crossville on their homecoming 48-0.
This is the what's that saying? You're going to learn today.
Yeah, they're going to learn today. Do not schedule Douglas for homecoming.
From a community standpoint and a school standpoint, like, you have people that's actually looking at us and like, oh, they're serious now, like, and that brings in more people to want to, you know, participate.
I know Austin remembers it, especially considering I do. Heck, going in, I think it was actually going into the what game was it? Sophomore year, we was going into the Sardis game. And, you know, that was a game we thought we could win on the team. We ended up going in and winning that game 14-8. But everybody in the school was, oh man, I feel bad for y'all tonight. I feel bad for y'all. Y'all got Sardis. You know, back to that tough schedule. Y'all got Sardis. Y'all gonna lose. But it's like, why don't you come out of the game and watch? Everybody came out of that game and watched. You know, celebrated after we won and stuff. Walked off the field. Players, all I hear is people talking. Oh man, we're playing football next year. We're playing football next year.
Yeah.
They wanted to be a part of the winning team, but we coach called it last year. He called it the Dirty 30. We had 26 kids finishing the season last year. Now we're at 55. Yeah.
Wow, that is unreal.
Yeah.
That is unreal.
Mr. Stahl's still there.
Yes, sir. He's the head principal now.
Hey, tell him I said what's up, because me and him graduated together.
Oh.
That's my dude. Call him Norland. You remember that?
Norland.
I go by his office every day. I will.
Norland.
He's
That's his high school nickname.
He's related to Dean, of course he will.
Hey, yeah. Call him, go in and say, Bo Starkey told me to call you Norland.
Okay.
That was his nickname.
Every time I see him in the hallway, I tell him that.
Hey, y'all have a good one there. Good luck. All right, our next guest is definitely one of our favorite guys. Each and every week we can have him on, Coach Pearson, defensive coordinator from Etowah High School. Coach, how you been doing?
I'm good. How about y'all?
Doing good. Last week, take us back to last week, Coach. You guys got back in the winning column again last week. I know you was ready to get some guys back from injury. I mean, you guys took a match unit up there in Tennessee. How good was it to get your guys back out on the field? Some of them, not all of them,
We had 2 of them back, so that was really good.
but especially defensively.
Yes.
Take us back to last week, how that game transpired.
Dora was very good. They're very good. They were good offensively. They're very good defensively. Chavis Williams, that played at Alabama, is their head coach. Defensively, they are top notch, solid. And I told our guys they had a running back who reminds me a lot. He's not as fast, but he reminded me a lot of Ronnie Royal. And that's what I told him. I said the way he runs, you don't tackle him. But if one guy's not going to tackle him, so we went in knowing if we could contain their running game, we weren't going to control it. We can contain their running game. We had a good chance. I like our chances. I like our matchup in the back end. So I felt like if we could control the running game, we had a chance.
So, and then you guys actually did perform pretty good. It was a tight game back and
Yeah,
forth.
it was.
Walk us through the game as it started unfolding. Were they running the same kind of things you'd seen? Or
Yeah, they were doing basically the same stuff that we'd seen. Didn't really do a lot of stuff that we hadn't expected. They were more of a wing tee out of shotgun kind of team. They had some tendency things that they tried to break a couple of weeks earlier against some other people, but it was still they're who they are. And I was able to get Perry Byers back. That was huge. Able to get Tyler Dobbs back. That was huge. And then, we moved Andrew to linebacker, and he's really
he's got a lot bigger from last year.
yeah, he put on about 24, 25 pounds over the summer. But he's finally figured it out and starting to understand. He's played about 3 different positions for us defensively, and then so now he's been a linebacker about 3 weeks. When Dobbs was out, I put it on him to have to get us lined up, get us what we're supposed to be in, and then when Dobbs came back, they kind of did it together, and it took some of the pressure off Dobbs for lining us up and let him play a little more. And so we kind of spread the wealth there, but they did a great job of getting us where we were supposed to be. And we got a little tired, and they scored. They'd done some stuff, and they had a tight end. They hadn't thrown to him all year, and they throw 2 hope passes, and he looks like dang.
Gronkowski?
Yes, going up on us, and we kind of frazzled a little bit and let them score right there. But after that, we really played well. Kids played, they played their guts out. They played hard.
That's good. Now, this week's a huge game for you guys. It has nothing to do with the region. This is about pride. And in this county, this is one of the biggest rivalries in this county year in, year out, and has been since I've been alive. The Battle of 77. Talk about your opponent this week, Southside.
It's and you ask any of my guys, and they'll tell you it's the biggest game of the year because it's the next one. I really, and this is going to sound coachy, I guess, but the name of whoever we're playing doesn't really factor in as much as, we're going to go to work and we're going to go and we're going to do, my guys, Brandon Booker and Randy Dupree and Matt Bone do a great job of getting us getting the game plan together and coach our kids up and all, but they're good. They're very good. Quarterback's very good. Offensive line's very good. They've got two receivers that can run that that are going to cause us some problems. We're just gonna. And I would tell you something about them defensively, but I probably watched 5 plays. So I don't look at that side because I've got enough to worry about on the other side. They do a great job of, if you want to play man, they've got man beaters in. If you want to play run, if you want to play zone, they've got zone beaters in. If you want to load up against the pass, they run the ball. They do a good job of mixing things up and give you a ton of formations that you have to spend time and make sure you're right on, because if you don't cover a guy, it's a touchdown.
I know you said you really don't, this is your biggest game because it's the next game up, but if you had to choose, who is your biggest rival, Gadsden City or Southside?
I like beating them all. And honestly, I know that, but honestly, my biggest, which I've done this for a long time, and anybody knows me, this is 32 years that I've been coaching. So most of the time, my biggest rival is ourselves. I want us to be better every week, and I don't care who we're playing. I told somebody, I was talking to our volleyball coach and our volleyball team who went and played in the sub-state and super regionals and got beat. And I said, look, y'all don't have anything to be ashamed of. You went and got beat by a team that's better than you. And if you get beat by a team that's better than you and you play hard, that's all you can ask for. I can take getting beat by somebody that's better than me if we play hard and we go out there. I don't like losing to teams that we're better than. So my biggest rival every week is us, because I want us to be better, because I'm probably my own worst critic. Defensively, I know I'm the worst coach we've got. Those other guys, man, they come up, they plan, they go, they keep me straight, and and I get to scream and holler and jump up and down a lot on Fridays, which is good. And I'll tell them, y'all keep me straight, and I'll make sure the kids play hard. And so that's so our biggest rival is really us. If we do what we're supposed to do every week, I think we got a chance.
I got a 2-part question. First question. I don't know if there's a rumor about it, cut through the grapevine. After the game with Lipscomb, did you go up to Trent Difford tell him that Tampa Bay's finally got a good quarterback now?
No, I did not. No,
look,
look. After that game, I was trying to find a bench to crawl under, because we definitely were outclassed and didn't perform very well.
Talk about, you've got Southside this week, big rivalry game, big emotional game, and I know coaches want to take one game at a time, but at the back of your mind, you're trying to look, long term. Now, the next week you got a playoff game against Priceville. Now, do you now I know you tell the players one thing, but as a coach, do you have already kind of start getting film on Priceville now, or
you can't do that.
Well, I know, but I know, just asking because me being in the playoff game, it's been a while, so I'm just kind of watching, just making sure that with an emotional game like that, if you because I know some coaches are preparers and they're looking at every film every day.
Well, and I am.
Yeah.
I'll watch.
I just mean you yourself.
Yeah, I watch South. I've been watching Southside since Thursday of last week. Really Wednesday night into Thursday, I kind of, because if I keep watching who we're playing, then I end up going, hey, I need to do this, and I talk myself out of stuff. So I start watching and putting more of my film time into who we're playing, and I don't really study it, but I'll enter my data. So then on Sunday or Saturday, when I get home, I can really go and really buckle down on, start focusing on them. I don't not work on who we're playing, but I do start looking a little ahead to who we're playing the next week to kind of, because you can look at it so much and finally you get you start chasing rabbits in your head, and I don't want to do that. I'm not real smart anyway, so I can't do that. So I kind of break the monotony of, I'll watch 20 minutes of Southside and 20 minutes of Priceville. Then I'll come back later and watch 30 minutes, and kind of do those things. Or I'll look at a certain formation that they're in and try to check matchups and make sure I like what we're doing and those kind of things.
Because you could see something, looking at Priceville, that could say, hey, I could use this against,
No, 2 tight ends and a wing and a sniffer is not what Southside's going to be.
Okay.
They're going to sling it all over the yard.
Yeah, that's true. No doubt.
Yeah, they're gonna sling it all over the yard, and they've got a good one to sling it. He's good. He's good. He does a good job. He throws it well.
Yeah, he does. He's got an arm where he can make everything up.
Yeah, he does, and he's not afraid to throw it over the middle. A lot of high school quarterbacks won't throw it over the middle. He will. And you can't just. He's not a statue back there. You got to get there and break down because he can run. He'll get. He can escape. He's a good player.
Yeah, no doubt. You guys got anything else? Coach, we appreciate you coming on, man. We always love it when you come in, and good luck this weekend.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, our next team in on our Monday Night Preview show is Sandrock, and these guys are coming off a bitter loss last week. I think that's why Coach is not here. He's taking a little time off to recover. We called and talked to him earlier, Coach Bowen and I. But with that being said, I'm going to let these gentlemen introduce themselves at this time.
My name's Brian East. I'm a senior. I'm a right guard, defensive end, and kicker.
I'm Nath Ashley. I'm quarterback, and I'm a junior.
Guys, now, we're going to talk about last week. I know you guys, we talked off camera a little bit, and they threw some things that you guys have not seen on film. Take us back to last week and how that game transpired and what that looked like.
Yeah, we came out there, and we had worked all week on film, looking at that and seeing what they were going to run. We really watched the counter. Their guards were really good at kicking us out, and we come out there and they started running trap and stuff like that, and we had to adjust big time on that.
We watched a lot of their defensive. Well, me and Coach Heath watched a lot of their defensive stuff, and they had ran a stack all year, and against us they came out in a 53 look. I mean, they had run that stack cover 3 all year, and they came out in something completely different on us. And offensive wise, I mean, they've never come out in a double tight end package, and then I mean they ran that mainly all night long.
Yeah. That 53, were they blitzing out of that as well?
They were. Occasionally they would blitz out of it.
Probably had somebody running free, didn't they?
They did. I mean, occasionally they would just spy out of it. Sometimes they just blitz. They were mixing it up pretty well.
As a quarterback, I bet you was thinking, hey, I'm going to burn a timeout or two there. we might want to get this protection worked out before this carries on any further. But if you had to go on a 1 to 10 scale on Coach Heath's frustration, where would we be at from last week's game?
If 11's possible, that's where it would have been.
I know there's a clipboard, at least one clipboard gone. What other antics did we see from Coach?
There wasn't a clipboard, was there?
I don't think
He
there
didn't
was.
snap a
I
clipboard?
don't think so. Yeah,
But
I don't think so.
he did throw his headset one time.
And I couldn't blow up at halftime because we're only down 14 to nothing.
I think it was either 14-0 or 21-0. So I mean,
it wasn't terrible.
we could still make
It
a
was
ball
so
game
bad.
out of it, but that second half we came out and we kind of laid down.
Yeah.
And I think that's when he really started to get upset. Was that second half?
Did he, after the game, did he have a message for you guys moving forward about what he wanted from you guys for the rest of this season? Because you guys have a quick turnaround, right? Playing on Thursday.
Yes.
What was that message?
He basically told us, he said, the Spring Garden loss, he said that was a loss that you could live with. He said, and coaches normally never say that. He said, but y'all played all the way to the end. He said, it's losing to a team that you just laid down to. He said, you never want to do that. He said, you always want to give it all the way to the end. You never know what you can make out of it. And he said, so next week we got to bounce back and take it and learn from the mistakes and put everything we got into it, see what we can do from there. Hit the ground running.
Yeah, because y'all got playoffs
Yeah.
coming up as well.
I mean, we've got to stay focused for the playoffs. Hopefully we can
This is
go
a
deep.
big game coming up Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a county rivalry.
It's a county rivalry.
That's right. Y'all been talking trash back and forth on Twitter. I've been seeing it. I'm just kidding. Both coaches, I'm kidding.
That's why he doesn't the keyboard off the clipboard.
Coach Heath, I'm totally joking. I'm not really, but go ahead.
Yeah, basically what he said, he was talking about when we went to halftime, there was some fighting going on between our teammates, and he said that fighting that was going on was kind of that 3-7 mentality like we had last year, like blaming each other. And throughout the year, we've been a whole lot better of coming together as a team and working. And halftime, it brought back 3-7 vibes like that. So we just kind of want to get away from that.
That's right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cedar Bluff coming up this week. Have you guys had a chance to really look at film from them?
We've had to see a little bit on them.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't. I'll be honest, I haven't seen that much on them, but I've watched a little bit on them.
Yeah.
I haven't broken them down quite as much as I normally have a team broke down by now, but they play fast, physical. I mean, they're gonna fly to the area. I mean, they're gonna play good.
They looked pretty good last week. That's good. It was a pretty athletic team.
Yeah, what he said, like the running backs really get downhill when they drive, they run hard, and I think we just stay low and we can do our job and we can get the job done. So.
All right,
Little Bucky's explosive.
Yeah.
He will talk a little trash. He'll tell you he will talk a little trash.
Good.
Well, this is, both of you guys are seniors, right?
I'm a junior.
I'm a
Junior?
senior.
Senior? Well, this is your last game at is it Jakeway Stadium?
No, that was last week.
But-
That's my last one. That was last week.
So y'all
at
playing?
Cedar Bluff.
That's Cedar Bluff.
Okay, well, then this got it wrong then. It said y'all were playing them at home, my fault. So this is your last regular season game, so, and this is your last shot at Cedar Bluff. So talk about your last 4 years, or 3 years, what it's meant to play for San Rock and Coach Heath and like I said, next week it's do or die. But you got to focus on this week. So talk about what it's been like to play for San Rock.
Yeah, Sand Rock's probably one of the best places I would say, in my opinion. I went to Center, but I was too young to really remember it. But Sand Rock's just really been my home. I've been playing since 7th grade, and every one of the coaches has always done their best to help me and become a better football player. And once I bought in about 11th grade, I really saw the changes, and just this being my last year, I guess got to give it all I can give. Coming down the end of the year.
That's it. Okay. I got one more question for you. Cedar Bluff, in general, is a traditional powerhouse in Ugas County. And you guys are coming back to power because San Rock for years and years was a powerhouse. That used to be a tremendous game. How does it feel to be in a situation where both of you guys are real playoff contenders again, and the magnitude of that game countywide has definitely went up?
It's nice to be a part of that. I mean,
That's right.
because our biggest goal was to make San Rock what they used to be. I mean,
That's
we
right.
wanted to put San Rock back on the map, and it's just nice knowing that you're a part of a building team again. I mean, a team that's making everybody be like, "Hey, San Rock's for real."
That's right.
That they're not just another pushover team. That San Rock is here for business.
That's what y'all said. I remember at the media days we had at Easy Street.
Mm-hmm.
It's talking about getting back to where you need to be.
Oh yeah, like that. It's definitely going to be a close game. I think both teams are really good, and I think kind of like us coming a long way like that has helped. We went 3-7 last year, and now we've won more games this year than we have in the past 2 years combined.
See what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That is awesome.
And just being a part of that is really cool.
You got the coolest head coach.
Yeah.
Probably the state.
Yeah.
We got some cool ones. I don't think they're all Coach Heath kind of cool.
No.
Guys, I appreciate you guys. Good luck to you guys on Thursday. And some of us is going to be out there at the game. We don't know how many of us, but some of us is going to be in the game this Thursday.
All right.
That means we're going to have one of these year 3,000 cameras we got with us.
Maybe you'll get a clipboard break.
Yeah, we're not coming. I'm demanding Coach Heath clipboard break. We're not coming.
We're not coming.
Hey, Coach, you hear that? I want to see a clipboard shatter. We got you a backpack full of them, so one's got to go.
I agree.
All right, so we're out. All right, our next team in on our Monday night preview show, last one of the year, by the way,
Good last one.
is going to be the Southside Panthers, who were actually off last week and actually worked on Southside a little bit in preparation for a big county rivalry game coming up with the Etowah Blue Devils. But before we get started, talking about last week and then this week, looking forward, we'll let these young men introduce themselves at this time, starting right over here.
Gerard Harden, defensive line.
I'm Justin Bowen, defense coordinator.
Cody Roberts, wide receiver.
Coach, I know you guys were off last week, and I know some coaches do not like off weeks during the season, but sometimes they're needed to heal everybody up, especially coming into the playoffs. But before the playoffs start, you're playing a huge rivalry game here at the end of the season. Take us back, before we talk about Etowah, take us back to last week and what your main focus was during that off week.
We were somewhat looking forward to the off week for sure because, normally your off week comes at the beginning of the season, middle of the season, and, we played 8 weeks straight
of hard-nosed football. And so we got to week 9 and we banged up a little bit. So it was a good week to get a little bit of off time to be able to kind of heal up. But it was also a lot of working on us, which is what you're going to hear a lot of coaches say in the off week. But we didn't look ahead to the next game at all. We focused on our base stuff, getting better at our base stuff, getting better individually at each position, and getting back to the things that we were, harping on back during like the spring. So things that were, that you build off of. We started back at the ground floor and started working up from that early in the week, and then started, we did a lot of good on good. I mean, we had an off week, but we went 3 days of tackle to the ground, like we were out there playing a full game 3 days out of the week, and so we got after it pretty good. But we were also able to heal up. And it was good. Last Friday I went to the Alexandria game, which is where I'm from. But, Coach Holcomb, he talked about on Sunday when they came back in and we met and practiced on Sunday, it felt weird not having a game because we played for 8 weeks and it felt weird. And so it made you appreciate being able to play and still being able to know like, hey, we got a game this week and we're also in the playoffs. And so we got an opportunity to play another week, so we talked to the kids about, hey, it's important to appreciate you having these opportunities to play because you're not guaranteed but a couple more games.
Now, let some of the jungle let their voices heal up as well. I'm
Yeah.
sure that was that's good.
Yeah, they already getting going for this week. So.
Now, I'm just going to be honest with you, and this is what I love about football. It's not played on paper.
Yeah.
Coming into this season, and you guys, I don't got to tell you how everybody's like, Southside's done. They graduated 25, 27, how many ever guys. And I know you had goals, obviously, to make the playoffs, but you've checked that one off. You've improved on both sides of the ball. And also, I'm sure these county rivalries was check marks for you that you really wanted to perform in. You've already performed very well in one against Southside Bluff, and I know this is another one. So bring us up to par this week right here.
When I got to Southside, I've never been a part of, obviously this rivalry, this Etowah Southside. When I remember coaching at Mumford and being in the Mumford-Lincoln rivalry and things like that. So all schools, they have those rivalries that are real big. But I remember when I got here, everybody, obviously Etowah Southside is like the big game. People think, during the Hoax Bluff week, oh, that's a big thing. But you can just tell, like, this week's a little bit different, especially for those kids that have been at Southside. And I'm not going to lie, it's rubbed off on me a pretty good bit too, because I'm already kind of feeling the same way, because I want to beat them just as bad as all the other kids that are from Southside. And a lot of that has to do because I love my guys and that's what they want. And, just Coach Holcomb, he always says the next one's the most important one. And so it really doesn't matter like who we're playing, but it does feel good to know that it's a rivalry. It's a big game. I think it's the Friday night football, whatever game of the week, and so there's going to be that there, and so that adds another little extra F and N. So that's a little extra, I guess you'd say, pressure, or to me it's more fun because there's going to be more people there and things like that. But it's been exciting seeing the kids and how they reacted this week, and that kind of led over into practice today. For us, is just getting after it a little bit more than they've got after it the last couple of weeks because there's just a little bit more incentive and something to play for, I guess.
Yeah. Now, y'all's defense has performed this year. I mean, above expectations. Like I said, a lot of those losses last year was off that defense. But what is it about this year's defense? You guys have kind of took the coach's, mindset, and his mindset he talked about many times is it don't matter who we playing, we got to think we can stop them. We're going to try our best to stop them and do it. But talk about that defense in general this year.
I mean, Coach Bowen, he's a great coach, first of all. He tells us our standard is execute every play and go as hard as we possibly can, give all effort. But coming down here from Indiana, so I didn't really know how things were last year. But watching film, you could just tell it really wasn't like that compared to what it is now. Just guys giving more effort, being more physical, and we kind of shied away from that the last couple of weeks. But we're trying to get back to that, and I think we have started to. And this Friday's gonna be something like that, getting back physical like we've been since week 1.
Take us through this off week, and he talked about you guys going ones versus ones. How intense is that?
One-on-ones with the best on best, it's good. it's better competition. Our second team guys, they give us a good thing. But sometimes we just need better guys out there like our ones. So it's good. They give us that O-line. We make them as best as we can. They make us as best as we can.
Do you talk any trash to Cody?
Nah, I mean I play D line, so I can't really do. But I mean,
They're far away from each other.
yeah.
Hey, let's still talk a little trash. Cody, tell us, this year you guys, Coach Holcomb brought in a new offensive attack scheme, and I noticed you really had a coming out party in Hoax Bluff Week, made our player of the week. But talk about that offense in general this season, how something's changed and it's kind of clicking.
Coming in with a new coach and it's a whole new offense. So it took a little bit to learn, and it took the whole summer, and Lincoln, we didn't perform as well as we could have, but ever since then I feel like we've been getting it. But of course losing Maddox Parsons, it was kind of hard, but we got Tyler Green and Everett Grizzard back there, still trying to run the ball, trying to pass the ball as much as we can.
That's the beautiful part about it is in any passing game is your running game has to work. If not, they can tee off on you. That's a gentleman like this young man right here strives on teams that just want to throw everything out, I'm sure. But Cody, another question to you. You've seen this rivalry for many years now. Talk about this rivalry, how special it is.
Oh, it's special. Playing in it since my freshman year, we get after it out there. And one thing I will say, we can't let it get too emotional because we just can't have any penalties. So that's about it.
Last year's game was like that. I think you guys,
it was a lot.
Just played really tight, especially that first half.
Well, first of all, I don't eat crow a whole lot, but when I do, I own it too. Coming to the season, I thought, new coaching staff, and after what y'all graduated last year, I thought, if they could win 4 games, that'd be a good year. And y'all have already got 5, is it 5? Mm-hmm. And with a chance to win 6 and get in the playoffs. So let's talk about, now, as far as emotions, it's a good thing that you got a team like Etowah to play, because you can't look ahead to the playoffs because you got them, the Blue Devils right there in front of you, because this is, I guess, now has the tiebreaker's already been settled? Or?
Yeah, we'll be the 4th seed against Mountain Brook.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about just what you guys have done throughout the season. If you need to make any kind of adjustments on defense or anything that you've done to kind of...
They're, coming in, like y'all have already talked about, obviously I heard, Southside's losing this, and Coach Holcomb's talked about multiple times how, hey, everybody came and talked to him and was like, hey, it's going to be, you're going to have to give it a couple of years, coach, and things like that. And he's talked about no, that's not what we're going to do. These seniors, they don't have time. And that's one of the best things that I think he said that I've loved is these seniors that we got this year, they're our first group. And, we'd love to build it, but they don't have no time to build it. Those guys are going to graduate this year, and, so we need to win now. We want to win now. And so, I felt like us coming in and just bringing a new energy to the program and to the kids and just a new look on things, it created a spark. And offensively, we've got a lot of younger guys or inexperienced guys over there. But on the defensive side of the ball, that's one of the reasons that we've been able to be so successful in defense is we've got a pretty good bit of seniors over there. Now, it's about half and half. We got some youth, like Gerard's a junior, but we also got several seniors over there that have stepped up and had, really big years for us on defense. And they've kind of helped carry us a little bit. But just going into the season, we didn't want to put too much stock into what everybody else was saying. We wanted to come in and not worry about that and just go to work. And, we were able to do some things early on that obviously nobody, had us in some of the games that we won. But I feel like, and I said this on Friday night when I was at Alexandria, is I think at some point along the way we kind of got complacent with, hey, we've done this, so we stopped doing the things that got us to where we were. We stopped doing the things that got us to beating Oxford and to beating Pell City and Springville. So, like you were talking about the off week, those are the things we had to get back to get back playing the type of football that we were early on. So.
What's the maddest you made, Coach?
Huh?
What's the maddest you made, Coach?
I mean, there's been some days he really doesn't get mad at me a lot. It's just when he knows I can give him more than what I'm giving out there, which is I love it because he knows that that's what I'm giving him is not good enough. And
he sees through the slacking. Though.
Yeah, he sees through and he knows that.
I love it. I love asking that question, especially when the coach is in. Y'all got anything else? Well, good luck to you guys.
Sure.
We will have a huge presence in this game. Probably 2 or 3 of us will be at that game. See you guys Friday night.